I'm Donna. In this first part of our video series on great humorists in world literature, we are going to take a look at Diogenes the cynic. Diogenes was a citizen of Athens in the time of Plato, although the two were worlds apart in their philosophies. The cynics were close to the Stoics in their ideas. They thought that people should live simple, natural lives, inure themselves to hardship, and develop their minds. In this presentation, you should pay attention to the ways in which Diogenes used humor to present his philosophy. Now, thanks to the magic of television, we will take you back in time for a visit with Diogenes. Good afternoon, Diogenes.
Good afternoon.
In keeping with your reputation as a nonconformist, I see that you keep your bathtub outside your house.
No, the bathtub is my house.
I see. Well, there must be some advantage to that.
You bet. There is no window can give a view like this. Also, if the neighborhood goes bad, I can just move the house.
Have you always lived in a tub?
No, when I was small, I lived in a house like everyone else. In fact, my father was a prosperous banker, except at the end.
Well, what brought him down? Bad economic conditions?
No, he had the poor judgment to make me his assistant. While serving in that capacity, I deliberately debased the coinage. But it wasn't actually my fault. The gods told me to do it.
You asked the oracle if you should debase the coins?
Not exactly. I asked if I should do that thing which would make my reputation grow. Since they are gods, they must have known what I meant. Afterwards, I left my native Sinope and traveled to Greece.
What you mean is that you were sentenced to a lifetime of exile.
If you like. I prefer to think I sentenced them to a life of staying at home. Once I arrived in Athens, I began my career as a philosopher.
How did you eat?
I established a sideline occupation, begging. At first, I went to every statue in town and asked for money.
Why statues?
It got me used to being refused. Finally, I went out after people. I told each customer that if he had given to other beggars, then he should give to me as well. If not, then he should start with me.
Well, how did it go?
I lost 30 pounds and gained a philosophy.
Well, why is it that people will give alms to blind people and cripples, but not to philosophers?
People know that one day they might be lame or crippled, but they never think they will. They never think they will turn to philosophy.
How did you avoid starvation?
I stole food from temples.
Isn't that strange for a philosopher who preaches ethical behavior?
Not at all. It is well known that the gods are friends of the wise, and friends are a community of men who share. Since I am a wise man, the gods are eager to share their wealth with me. It is simply a matter of making the arrangements.
Then you really believe in the gods?
How could I not believe? Just look at all the God-forsaken people running around this city. People go to the temples and pray for their health, then they go home and feast until they are sick. This morning I saw a man being sprinkled with holy water to make his soul pure. They have just as much chance to improve their soul in that way as to improve their grammar. The gods provide every man with the means to be happy, and people devote their lives to misery.
Well, you don't think much of religion. What do you think about your fellow philosophers?
Words could not do justice to how I feel about them. Let's take a walk, and I will show you where the wind goes when it retires.